Hey, listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MP. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
This week, just a completely normal show for us. This week, we're just going to be recapping Raw and SmackDown, but we do have some random championship and important matches coming up in the middle of next week that I guess we should also take a look at, just randomly happening in the middle of the week. Such as Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley in a no-holds-barred match.
This should be just a bloodbath. One way or the other. Somebody's just going to get destroyed.
Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be a 20-minute technical masterpiece between the two, as you say. And unfortunately, for our CEO of the Hurt Business, I got a feeling Goldberg coming back for revenge for his son is going to be the winner on the night.
I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley.
Okay. I'd rather that, so I'm going to fully support it.
Yeah. I really think... I think if Goldberg wins here, any chance we had of ever seeing Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar goes out the window.
That's true. This is our chance at that to make sure that Bobby Lashley still has credibility going into a match like that. So yeah, I guess maybe this is just a hurdle for Bobby Lashley that he's got to prove himself on. I think, as you're right, though, if Bobby Lashley does fall here, it will be interesting and hard to see him get built back up to the level that I think he's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see him winning like a world title next year. It wouldn't be outside the imagination to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think if we want that match, if WWE wants that match, let me correct myself. The fans want that match. If WWE wants that match, they need to do everything in their power to keep Lashley at least strong enough to be believable against Lashley, Lesnar.
Mm. And just because you've got the perfect segue there, Brock Lesnar will be taking his shot at the Universal Championship up against Roman Reigns.
Yeah, the longer this goes, the less sure I am about the outcome.
What was your opinion a month ago?
I saw Reigns retaining. But there, to me, everybody's looking at if anybody betrays Roman, it would be Paul. That's what everybody's looking at. But there is another person in the bloodline that could do it.
Yeah.
Let's rewind. Jay was beaten into submission.
Yeah. We had a whole good storyline about that.
Yeah. But Jimmy never really... Even though he fell in the line, but he never actually was submitted. He never actually had any reason to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just to support his brother. But there was no reason. What if Jimmy betrays Roman? And that's what cost him the title. Yeah.
The unfortunate realism of that scenario is that it does mean Brock Lesnar has the Universal Championship, but I guess I can let it go as a realm of possibility in my head. Of course, my preference here is still going to be Roman Reigns walking out with the title. But as you say, the likelihood that happens is dwindling more and more. As much as we might hate him holding titles, Brock Lesnar is guaranteed star power.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm still more leaning towards Roman. So I'm going to pick Roman.
Okay.
Because I think WWE really wants to try to build on Big E with everything they've done the past week with him out on College Game Day and being seen at the Fury Wilder fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really want to build his star power. What would be a better way than Survivor Series, champion versus champion, and Big E wins?
Yeah.
He does something nobody's done in a year and a half. He beats Roman Reigns. And Roman can take the loss in that type of match because it doesn't take the title from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely more interested in a clean one-on-one between Roman Reigns and Big E than I am Big E versus Brock Lesnar, for sure. The only question is around these titles, right? Because Brock Lesnar has basically come out and claimed that he's going to fight on whatever brand he wants. Roman Reigns on SmackDown, Big E on Raw, and Big E's opponent next week, Drew McIntyre, on SmackDown. What if Drew wins the title here? Are we saying that ain't going to happen?
Oh, yeah. Drew's not winning the WWE Championship because he got drafted to SmackDown. In fact, he'd probably be Roman's first opponent from the new SmackDown roster.
But what if Drew took the WWE Championship to SmackDown and Brock Lesnar took the Universal to Raw? Dun, dun, dun. I don't think they're going to take the title off Big E this early.
No.
It would be very silly of them, in my opinion. You know, as you say, they've built a very marketable champion, somebody who you can put on the billboards, you can send to the events, somebody that adults love, children love, is marketable as HE double hockey sticks. Why would you tear that down after such a short title reign? Let the guy run. This guy's got the whole field in front of him.
Yeah, definitely. I think you definitely want a good 6-month reign for Big E. Mm-hmm. WrestleMania, at least through WrestleMania. I think that's where we're going with Big E here. Is we have to get to WrestleMania with him as champion. Anything short of that is going to be a disappointment to many fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. He's got to take something and run with it. If we take it from him now and he fumbles it, what was the point of everything? Everybody's behind him. Ride this wave of momentum. Drew McIntyre doesn't need the belt. You know, it's perfectly fine without it. The guy's going to be a monster regardless. Let Big E be your flagship guy.
Yeah. And as I said, there's pretty much a ready-made feud waiting for him on October 22nd when the rosters change. So he could easily lose to Big E. There won't be any harm for him, and then walk out on SmackDown the next night and challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, and nobody would bat an eye because, of course, that's what Drew would do.
Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense, to be fair. Even though it is, as such a scenario of like you just lose a WWE Championship match and you just immediately assume that you're owed a Universal Championship match. But as you say, it would work. It would definitely be something that is perfectly in character for Drew, and, Drew Reigns is going to be good fun.
Yeah. After all, last year at Survivor Series, they had probably the best match of Roman's run as a heel at Survivor Series in their champion versus champion match.
Mm.
So, why not? Why not do another round of it? The same outcome happens, but it'll definitely be a great match.
Yeah. Let's just let's get to Survivor Series and let's see how that all shakes out. We've got time for one more match. Do you want to talk about the Women's Championship or the Tag Team Championship matches that are coming up next week? Just before the song.
Yeah, I'll let you take. I don't care.
Let's go with the Tag Team Championships. Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. RK Bro taking on AJ Styles and Omos. Surely it's the retention.
Anything is possible. I like both these teams. A lot of people were saying about AJ and Omos possibly splitting up because of the draft itself, but they decided to keep them on the same brand. I could totally see them taking the titles back.
Mm.
I'm going to say there's probably more of a chance of a retention than Styles and Omos gaining the titles.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to rule anything out. I'll go by the slimmest margins, like 55-45. RK Bro retains.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll slide a little bit the other way and sort of go 60-40, but not a whole lot. RK Bro are doing amazingly fun things, and it just feels like as soon as that they lose these titles, their days are numbered. And I know their days are numbered already. But losing the titles is just going to put that writing on the wall. And I'm not ready for it to end. I want these guys to keep going. I want to see more from the two of them. And so I just don't want them to lose the titles yet. A lot of these matches I'm just picking based on heart, Just I don't want them to
In
lose.
all honesty, I would much rather, even if this resulted in a title change, much rather have been RK Bro versus Ali and Mansoor.
Mm-hmm.
We know Mansoor's going to win a match if he's in this location, right?
In the middle of next week, randomly, yeah.
Yeah. But that would still be a great moment, and we are really starting to get to like Ali and Mansoor as a tag team.
Well,
so
some unfortunate news.
Well, they are facing off in this one, but I don't think they broke up.
No, we will see them go head to head next week. Hopefully, they can sort out their differences and take on RK Bro later on. As you say, there's no point talking about that match because Mansoor has plot armor. But yeah, I'm going to be on team RK Bro retains from that side of things. And then I'm going to shuffle us off into our entrance theme because we are roughly halfway through this show. Our entrance theme this week is none other than Hangman Adam Page, recently returning to AEW, winning the Casino ladder match and earning himself a championship match against Kenny Omega at Full Gear. What's going to happen, we don't know, but what we're going to do for you right now is play you that song. And you're back for Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and NPR. I'm Grady, he's Josh. We got a couple more matches that are happening in the middle of next week just to talk about. Let's open up with Edge versus Seth Rollins, presumably one last time, as they're going to be having their match in a Hell in a Cell.
Well, that's what supposedly that's what the Hell in a Cell match is supposed to do. It's supposed to end a feud.
When it's not at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a really good Cell match. I'm highly interested in seeing how they can be creative with it, while also protecting Edge against so that we don't lose him for another 7 years.
Yeah.
I think Edge wins.
Okay. I bet against Edge last time, and I feel like I can't bet against him now.
Yeah. The stuff Seth's been doing has been amazing. In fact, I changed his name to when he supposedly broke into Edge's house. I changed his name to I Am Slime. He was totally slime in that, in all those vignettes. But yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, I think it's just a case of, I think Seth can afford the loss of the feud. I think they just want to milk everything they can out of Edge's return. So I think at the end, I think we're just going to see Edge's hand raised, and then it does end the feud.
Yeah, this one really has to be a feud ender, regardless of who walks out of this with the win. And as you say, I think the more definitive end is Edge winning. It's a little sad. Seth Rollins, isn't going to be standing on top, but dude's young. Dude's going to be around for 5-6 more years. I guess we don't know how much more Edge time we have. So as you say, we're going to just take every single second of Edge time that we can get. The last non-tournament match, SmackDown Women's Championship. It's on the line in a triple threat: Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks.
I have been riding this train for probably 2 months now.
It's been a while.
I'm not getting off the train.
Okay, choo-choo.
And we either go to a unification or a title switch.
Yeah.
But one way or another, I believe Becky walks out as still champion.
Yeah, it's entirely fair based on the brands that everybody has landed on, specifically the fact that our Raw Women's Champion is on SmackDown, and as of right now, isn't defending her title before that draft date becomes official, and so yeah, Becky Lynch would make sense to hold on to the SmackDown Women's Championship just to make sure each brand has, a women's champion standing at the helm.
The only way this changes is that Sasha wins the match. Because she's the only member of the three that's actually a SmackDown superstar after this event.
Yeah.
And Bianca challenges Charlotte on the last possible day that Charlotte is a member of the Raw roster, which would be next Monday, and goes into the event with also a champion.
Yeah.
And this takes the Raw title back to Raw with her, and Sasha takes it to SmackDown title to SmackDown.
Somehow this sounds more complicated than the just having the titles on opposite brands plan.
Yeah. There's lots of logistics. If you want to put the titles back on their proper brands, you're definitely going to need several things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning with somebody beating Charlotte for the Raw title on Monday. It may not even have to be anyone in this match. It just somebody would have to beat Charlotte.
Yeah.
And take the title back to Raw. And if that was to happen, we know for a fact Sasha's winning that match.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, Bianca and Becky are Raw.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening as that draft gets official on the 22nd of October. But, we got a couple more little tidbits to talk about that will be culminating next week. We actually have 2 tournaments going on at the moment. We have the King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown tournament. As of time of recording, we've still got the semifinals and the finals left to go, so we're going to have to be making a bit more wild of predictions. But let's first talk about the Queen's Crown tournament. On one side of the bracket, we have Zelina Vega and Carmella, who's going to be advancing to the finals from those two.
I'm going to go with, because it would be more obnoxious, and that's going to be a theme between these two, I'm going to go with Carmella.
Okay.
Because I think it would just be more obnoxious and would actually fit the character if she won the tournament.
That's fair. I'm surprised, honestly, when I looked at the bracket, I'm surprised both of these women made it here to the semifinals. So I guess when somebody knocks out your girl from the tournament, you just have to follow them, right? And you blindly support them. And in that way, I guess Carmella is who I end up supporting. But in terms of who she will be going up against on the other side of the bracket, we have Shayna Baszler and Doudrop. I'm
going to go with Doudrop because of a disqualification.
Okay.
I'm going to say that Baszler gets herself disqualified in the match. And so we have Doudrop versus Carmella at the event.
Okay.
Because I think in this case, we would definitely want a face versus a heel for the crown. And of the 4 women, Doudrop's the only face.
Yeah, that's true. I guess using your logic, that locks her into that finals position.
Yeah. So, if that is the outcome, and if that is the finals, Carmella versus Doudrop, I'm going Carmella.
Okay.
Again, because it would be the most obnoxious thing that could possibly happen. Her character is perfect for it as well.
See, I'm going to rewind and throw all logic out the window. So, sure, I got Carmella advancing from one side of the bracket, but from the other side, I'm going to be bringing Shayna Baszler in as the winner there after a decent match with Doudrop, leading to Carmella Shayna Baszler finals next week. Because as much as I do want to support the person who knocked out my Liv Morgan, I'm fully on the Shayna Baszler train now. Choo choo, Queen of Spades gonna have that Queen's Crown. That's all I'm saying on that. And one of us will be right, And the other one, yeah, no, one of us might not be right. It might be Zelina Vega, and we're just like both completely wrong.
Yeah.
We can't guarantee anything at this point in time.
Yeah.
But if we jump over to the men's side with the King of the Ring tournament on one side of the bracket, and I think this is where it'll be more annoying piece might come in. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor on the first side of the bracket.
Yeah, it would definitely be more annoying to have Sami Zayn as King of the Ring. Could you imagine the promos of him just as king? Just the absolute holding it over people's heads and stuff. That's why I want to see it happening. Will it happen? Probably not, because he probably will lose to Finn, because he typically doesn't go to these shows. But if he does somehow win that match against Finn, he's winning the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants Xavier Woods to win. He's going to the finals, no matter what.
Interesting.
Right.
You keep talking your theory. Yeah, so the other side of the bracket, Jinder Mahal, Xavier Woods.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jinder. He gets hindered by Xavier Woods. Would Woods make a great king? Absolutely. In fact, it would work well with bargaining and stuff, especially with G4 finally about to launch.
Mm-hmm.
Relaunch. The problem is that I just can't see them pulling the trigger. I don't know why, but I can't see WWE pulling the trigger. As much as I personally want to see Xavier Woods as king. But I think for the story, I think he falls, and I think he does fall to Sami.
Okay.
I'm picking Sami to win this tournament.
Sami's your final lock-in.
Yes.
See, I'm sitting here going, what if Jinder hinders Xavier? What if that one possibility you didn't talk about happens, and Xavier Woods falls at that hurdle, and we end up seeing what would presumably be a Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal final here, just to throw out different options, because that's really the other way.
I don't see that going over very well, because if I'm not mistaken, the people that would be in the crowd don't particularly care much for Indians.
I'm not 100% sure on where those lines are drawn, but I just got to throw out other options.
Yeah.
Just because otherwise I'm going to sit here and agree with you, and I can't do that for 30 minutes. But unlike you, I can see them pulling the trigger. I'm going with King Woods. I'm all behind it. Why? Because everything's a meme until it's not a meme. Fully behind Xavier Woods winning the King of the Ring tournament. Unlike his New Day mates Kofi Kingston and Big E, I don't see Xavier Woods reaching that WWE Championship without some major time and investment to him as an individual star. So let's give him the King of the Ring. Let's give him a literal crown for him to hang his head on. Alrighty, well, that's been Raw and SmackDown and all of their fallout that's going to happen next week. We've got maybe 2 minutes left in the show, but we do have to talk about NXT at least a little bit, because we do have a brand new champion. Isaiah Swerve Scott was able to defeat Santos Escobar, and then it turns out that Carmelo Hayes' championship shot was sort of like a Money in the Bank cash-in kind of deal, and he ended up cashing in that opportunity and walking away with the North American Championship.
Honestly, good call, WWE. Because we talked last week about, Santos is going to win this match.
Yeah.
It's Swerve's swan song. He's going away from NXT to go to SmackDown in a few weeks. He'll drop the title to Santos. Santos had a great run as Cruiserweight champion. We completely forgot that the winner of the Breakout Tournament got a title shot at any title they want. Which I think was the whole purpose of them not mentioning it or anything.
Yeah.
So that would be a surprise when it happened. Which is the...
it worked.
Which was the best... It worked. And now we have a new champion, and we'll have to see how they work him into storylines because they originally wanted him to be part of the cruiserweights, and then they fired all the cruiserweights, and so they decided we'll put him in the new North American division.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's shoot him to the moon.
That's the thing as well, like, in Loss here, like, Swerve Scott looks amazing. Like, he was still able to beat Santos Escobar despite, the numbers advantage because the rest of Hit Row had been taken out already. And so, Swerve looks strong. Swerve looks great on his way up to the main roster. And as you say, Carmelo Hayes, he's the future. Let's see what this man can pull out.
That was something he was not able to do before Hit Row, by the way. But, yeah, it definitely keeps him strong for his debut on the main roster. We have a new champion. Let's back the champion. And Santos isn't really hurt that either. Yeah. So let's go. Let's go. Everybody wins.
And on that note, we are completely out of time this week as well. It's been great talking to you.
Bye, B.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRND up, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRND up, or our YouTube, youtube.com/WrestlingRND up, and we will catch you next week.